Hi guys. So I know that today is not my regular uploading day. It's actually usually my filming day. But I just thought I should address this, I guess. So for those of you who don't know, it was Mental Health Awareness Week last week, and yesterday, or 2 days ago, I guess, as this is being uploaded, was Mental Health Awareness Day. And basically, the internet, came together as a whole and addressed mental illness and, I guess, yeah. So I felt I should, myself, kind of take you guys on a journey of my mind and of my past with mental health. So I'm going to try to make this to be with as little cuts as possible because I want to share my raw, real experiences with you, and I want this to be an experience in itself because I have had a lot of struggles trying to talk about it. Yeah, and I feel like this is really pushing myself to really talk about it. So, yeah. I've struggled with mental illness since as early as grade 2. That's quite early. I think that's 7 years old, possibly 7, 8. Yeah, so back in grade 2, I was diagnosed with severe anxiety and OCD. I was put on medication. I believe that might have been in grade 3 that I was put on medication. And I started going to therapy in grade 2 because I had really bad, severe anxiety. It kind of sprouted as separation anxiety, mostly from my parents. I could never sleep over at people's houses because I would end up calling in the middle of the night and wanting to be picked up because I couldn't be that away from my parents because I felt like something bad was going to happen to them. It wasn't even to me that I was scared of it. And my dad would walk our dog at night just after he read us our story and tucked us into bed. And he would have to sneak out of the house because I would know that he would be going to take the dog for a walk, and I would get super scared because I would have his timing down to a T, which is going into the OCD bit, but I had his timing of walking the dog down to a T where if he took 2 minutes more than usual, I would be terrified, and if he was talking to a neighbor, I'd just be terrified because I had this irrational fear that someone was hiding in a bush with a gun to shoot my dad, or my dad got hit with a car, despite living in the safest neighborhood. I just was terrified. And so I would freak out, and I would call my dad from our home phone to his cell phone, and if he didn't answer, my mind would instantly go to he got shot, he got hit by a car. I was absolutely freaked out, and it was god awful. And then moving into the OCD bit of my childhood, I had the need for control, whether it was picking the route we drove home, or there was this one song that I somehow associated with bad luck, and you could not play that song around me or I would lose my shit. It was American Boy. I don't even know who the singer of it is, but that song Like, you could not play it around me or I would absolutely lose it. My sister used to think it was like a joke and like play it as a joke, but it's seriously like, it was so stupid because I had one occurrence where it was associated with bad luck. So every time I heard that song, I was convinced that something bad would happen to me. And so I even called it my bad luck song. But it was also not even just like the need for control. I had these weird, I want to say kinks, but they're not kinks. They're just like, I don't know. But basically, I have emetophobia, which I will get into later. But basically, I refuse to sit on the left side of my car after throwing up in that seat back in grade 3. Even to this day, I'm still I get uncomfortable sitting in that seat, and I will try to sit on the right side if I can. I don't know why. It's like the fear of like, if I sit here, I'm going to be sick again. I don't know. And then when H1N1, the swine flu, was going around and my sister had a strain of it, she threw up in the bathroom, the foyer bathroom of our old house. This was so long ago. I refused to use that toilet for years. Like, I refused to go to that foyer bathroom. It wasn't until we moved, like it was one of the last days leading up to the move, that I conquered that fear, I guess, and I went to that toilet. Which was like, of course that had to happen right before we moved. So that was weird, but it was just an obsessive thing. Like, I was terrified. I was like, I'm gonna catch the swine flu, like, if I go to this bathroom, because my sister, and it didn't matter how many times it was disinfected, like, it didn't matter. So, anxiety and OCD ruled the majority of my childhood, which is really sad. And then flash forward to mid-grade 10, so the middle of grade 10, is when I figured out that my fear of throwing up was actually a real thing, and it was called emetophobia. So emetophobia is the fear of vomit and vomiting and just everything to do with sick. So that came about in a bizarre way. It was so debilitating. I was getting nauseous every single day, and every time I got nauseous, my brain would convince itself that I was going to throw up. And there was a period in grade 11 where I didn't go to school for pretty much 2 months because every single day I was nauseous. I would be up at 4 in the morning in the bathroom over the toilet. And I also had another weird compulsive desire that whenever I felt sick, I would literally strip down my clothing to nothing. I would be naked on the bathroom floor over the toilet, convinced that I was going to throw up. And I would spend that entire 2-month period going between my bed to the bathroom to my bathtub, because baths comforted me. The warmth of the water, I don't know. But that was an awful period in my life. But basically, yeah, I went to CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, for a year in attempt to get over this fear, which unfortunately I'm still terrified to this day of throwing up. And I was like, ugh, I can't. And then later on in grade 10, I was diagnosed with clinical depression, which was awful, and it was, depression is a bitch. It's awful, like, I don't know what else to say. I had to switch schools because of it. I was at one school that was pretty much across the city, and I had to move back to my home school that I had started out in because it was closer to home, and it just made me feel better. Obviously, it didn't improve my depression. Still deal with that on a daily basis as well. But yeah, and then the mental illness that affects me the most, which I don't tend to talk about, is my eating disorder. This one has had the most impact on my life, considering it's been the one that's been in my life for the least amount of time. That was at the end of grade 11 when I was diagnosed and first admitted into the hospital in inpatient. Sorry. This is a really hard topic for me to talk about because it's affected me and it still affects me to this day. But basically, yeah, that led to my first admission to the hospital in their eating disorders unit. I was basically starving myself, as one does when dealing with anorexia. And it was an awful experience. I basically got my weight up enough to get out of the hospital, and then I lost it all again towards the beginning of this. So I went through the summer of grade 11 going into grade 12, and I was doing all right. I wasn't doing the best because I'm never doing the best when it comes to food. Never. But I basically, I lost it all again after school had started my senior year. I don't know if it was the school aspect. I don't know what it is, to be honest. I don't know why I have this. I don't know if I should know, because I don't know. But I lost it all again, and I was admitted once again to the hospital for my eating disorder. And I was there for a period of a month, again, to get my weight up. But they never really focused on the root of the problem, which is why I feel this way, why I have such a negative perspective on myself and my body image. I still don't know why. But yeah, I got let out after a month, and things were going, again, all right, which is not really all right, for a couple months until after Christmas, when, once again, it just went all downhill and I lost it all again, and I was near death. Resting heart rate of 42. When I'm asleep, I could have died in my sleep. But I didn't care. I don't know. I don't know. So I was readmitted once again a little bit after Christmas, for 3 months this time, almost right up until my 18th birthday, when I could have no longer been in the children's hospital that I was staying in. So I got discharged just before my birthday. I stayed there the entirety of January through April, pretty much. I missed March break, my senior year March break. I didn't get a March break. Yeah, I got out and things were, again, going all right. And I guess that brings us to where we are today. I still struggle with food on an everyday basis. It's not easy for me to talk about it even. I've developed a fear of dying in my sleep, but it doesn't stop me from doing what I'm doing to my body, I guess. I'm scared that, I don't know, it could take it all away from me, because it has the highest mortality rate of any mental illness out there. But it's so funny to me, because I could tell someone that, like, when they're asking me how I'm doing and I say I'm doing fine, someone that knows about my eating disorder, I could say, yeah, I'm doing fine, and they'll be like, yeah, no, I can really tell. I can really tell you're doing okay. You look great. You look amazing. But, and then if I'm honest to them or anything, if I'm saying, yeah, no, things aren't going too great, they'll be like, yeah, no, I can tell. You don't look so good. You don't look that great. You're looking thin. You're looking skeletal. But that could be in the same period of like a week, which is like, I did not change. My body did not change that much from Monday to Wednesday for you to say that I look great and healthy to I look unhealthy. It's basically, they're just kind of telling me like what I want to hear, I guess, or they just don't want to like come out and say that I don't look great when I say that I'm doing great or doing okay or whatever. It's bizarre to me, and I don't know. It's just, I've always noticed that throughout these past couple of years when I say stuff like that. But yeah, basically, I guess, the moral of the story is that I'm fucked up. I'm flawed, but I'm still human. And looking on a brighter note, I guess, of things, I like to think not of my brain as being ill. I have an exciting brain, because, I mean, there's never a dull moment in here. There's always something going on, whether it be anxiety or my depression or my OCD acting up. Like, there's always something on the go. But I feel like it was really important for me to address this and my journey to kind of end the stigma of mental health, the negative stigma that comes along with it. And I am so thankful that, like, I've lived in Canada throughout my life because of their healthcare system, because I've been to the doctors pretty much my entire life, and I'm so thankful that I can get all this for, like, basically free, and it's amazing, and I'm so thankful that, like, Canada. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna end this off here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll try to link some resources down below for you guys if you guys struggle with similar things. And I guess I will see you guys possibly this Sunday or next Sunday when I return to my regularly scheduled uploads. So yeah, thank you guys for watching if you stuck around this far. Yeah, bye.